It's the great giant pumpkin, and it was grown right in Minnesota, traveling 36 hours to California to become this year's world champion. The Safeway World Championship Pumpkin Way Off took place at the Half Moon Bay Art and Pumpkin Festival. This year's breaks a U.S. record, weighing in at 2,560 pounds. That's good for a $23,000 prize. The pumpkin, dubbed Maverick, was grown by Travis Geinger, who credits his success to a lot of hard work, luck, and fertilizer.
It shouldn't even happen in Minnesota because our weather goes from 96 to 42 in 24 hours. So, I mean, we got lucky with this one. So.
Now, the world record for the largest pumpkin stands at 2,703 pounds, set just last year in Italy. Whether it be through art, conversations, or participating in activities like powwows, the community is encouraged to get out today for Indigenous Peoples Day and celebrate Indigenous lives and history. Two of those celebrations are happening right now, one at the Agassiz Building Gymnasium, where there are Indian educational cultural specialists, songs, dances, and more. There's also a powwow going on at Moorhead High School. Both of these events wrap up around 8:30 tonight. Also, today is World Mental Health Day. It's a day to raise awareness of mental health issues around the world and mobilize efforts for better outcomes for all. The Fargo Park District says they're proud to play a small part in the strides toward bettering mental health. They want to remind you of the resources available. 150 parks and facilities, programs and leagues providing social interactions and community events and spaces to make new friends and explore the area around you. Up next in sports, the top two teams in the country meet in the Fargo Dome this weekend. Devin is in with details next.